I mean, I was in such shock, I have to say. I was not expecting it at all, and I think it just was like pouring out. So I'm glad to hear that it came across, and it reality is, which I realized there were so many people I didn't get a chance to thank, and the truth is everything I do is for them. It's for my daughters, for my daughter's daughter.
Drinking wine again, she started taking shots of tequila. And then when she would get drunk, Ashton would take photos of her throwing up in the toilet, and he would make fun of her. So, which do you want, sir?
Who goes to Demi?
Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. All right. Take it down the hall. All right, take it down the hall.
Guys, you won't believe what Demi Moore's daughter just revealed about her mom. In a shocking confession, she exposes the dark truth behind Demi's struggles and how Hollywood played a huge role in shaping her life. They're talking about her connections to P. Diddy and some wild parties with Ashton Kutcher. Is this the start of some huge Hollywood revelations? Or are we just watching another family drama unfold? Trust me, you won't want to miss this, because the gossip is seriously heating up. Stay tuned to find out what really went down.
You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with her daughters.
So what really happened between Demi Moore and Kylie Jenner at the Golden Globes? Tallulah Willis, the daughter of Demi and Bruce, shut down the rumors her mum had snubbed Kylie after this clip went viral. Tallulah nipped it in the bud and said her mum simply hadn't seen her and claimed there was no snub of any sort. Another insider confirmed to DailyMail.com that there was no ill will between the two or any malicious intent by Demi. They said she simply didn't even acknowledge her presence as she doesn't know Kylie. Last Halloween, Kylie impersonated Demi, recreating her iconic striptease poster. Demi also seemed to be a fan of Kylie's costume and even reshared her looks on her story.
Oh my God. They're a vocal crowd.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
They are a vocal crowd. Oh my God.
Have you had a chance to talk to them yet?
No, and you know what? I don't have my glasses with me, so I haven't even been able to read.
He made her feel so insecure and so, it's like insane because she's Demi Moore. And she's like coming off of this marriage with Bruce Willis.
Right, yeah.
She's royalty. She was
Yeah.
a Rat Pack member. Like, she's everything.
What did you say to him?
I asked if it was true. And he admitted it right away. And I think my response was, "Are you kidding me?" that was it. And I think I felt like I could barely take a breath.
I never paid attention to how incredibly toxic Demi Moore's relationship with Ashton Kutcher was. Yes, they were 15 years apart. Yes, he cheated on her. But there was so much more. They met having dinner with some friends, right? Not long after, they were spotted on a double date with Diddy and Kim Porter, which in hindsight is problematic.
Now let's talk about Demi Moore. This woman has been a major name in Hollywood for years. She's been on top of the acting game since the 90s, racking up awards like Golden Globes and Emmys. And that's just the beginning. She's still out here making waves.
Said your childhood
Was done. Yeah, life-changing moment.
If you thought the recent Oscars party was a big deal, it's nothing compared to the iconic roles she's had in the last 4 decades. From St. Elmo's Fire in 1985 to G.I. Jane in 1997, Demi's been dominating the big screen for years. And her love life? Well, it's pretty wild too. Demi's been married 3 times, and one of those marriages was to none other than Bruce Willis. Together, they had 3 beautiful daughters, Rumer, Scout, and Tallulah. Even after their split in 2000, they kept things pretty chill, focusing on co-parenting. It's honestly a pretty rare sight in Hollywood.
The Golden Globe goes to Demi Moore.
I'm just in shock right now. I've been doing this a long time, like over 45 years. This is the first time I've ever won anything as an actor. 30 years ago, I had a producer tell me that I was a popcorn actress, and I made that mean that this wasn't something that I was allowed to have. And I bought in, and I believed that. In those moments when we don't think we're smart enough, or pretty enough, or skinny enough, or successful enough, just know you will never be enough. But you can know the value of your worth if you just put down the measuring stick. I celebrate this as a marker and being reminded that I do belong. Thank you so much.
Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2. Come on, pick it up. Pick it up. All right. Take it down the hall.
All right, take it down the hallway, okay.
So here's the scoop on Demi and Bruce. They got married, got pregnant in just 4 months, and spent the next decade raising their 3 daughters. Along the way, they made 33 movies, but eventually, their relationship started to fall apart. Despite the drama, Demi stayed focused on her kids, and a few years later, she met Ashton Kutcher. Now, this is where it gets juicy. In 2003, Demi and Ashton met at a fancy dinner party, and the chemistry between them was instant. The relationship totally rocked Hollywood. Why? Well, because there was a 15-year age gap between them. Yep, Demi was 15 years older, and the tabloids couldn't handle it. People were talking, saying things like, "It's just silly, it won't last." But here's the real tea. Demi's always been into younger guys. She even dated Sean Friday, who was 24 years younger, and Daniel Humm, 15 years her junior. But even with all the judgment, Demi and Ashton kept their love strong. Demi later said she felt totally safe with him. He didn't care about her past or her ex-husband, and he really loved her kids. Just 2 years after their meeting, they tied the knot, proving they didn't care about all the haters and drama. Here's where things get really deep, though. While Demi was out here living her life with Ashton, not caring what anyone thought, her daughters were struggling with the changes in their family. Rumer Willis opened up about all this on Red Table Talk with Jada Pinkett Smith.
And took advantage, and didn't check in. That's where I feel like the man's responsibility is. No means no, but what if you can't say no?
Right.
What if you're in a position and you're going, I can't express no because I've never done that?
Rumer shared that her self-esteem took a huge hit. She talked about how the struggles her mom was going through messed with her own sense of self-worth. Demi was dealing with anxiety, addiction, and depression during her marriage. And Rumer said it really took a toll on her. She felt unloved no matter how much she tried to change her looks.
What did you say to him?
I asked if it was true. And he admitted it right away. And I think my response was, "Are you kidding me?" That was it. And I think I felt like I could barely take a breath.
The mother, your kid is gonna pick up on that, you know, and not be able to necessarily take in, oh, I'm so amazing because my mom says I'm amazing.
Right.
If my mom doesn't love herself, like how can I do that?
How can I expect her to love her?
Like unworthiness, like I'm innately unlovable somehow, no matter how I look, what I weigh, like how my hair looks, and whatever the outside reflection is, there's something innately about me that I have to earn love from people and like constantly prove myself.
It's honestly heartbreaking how Demi's personal battles ended up affecting her daughters. Rumer explained that when a mom doesn't love herself, it's hard for her kids to feel love. If Demi couldn't love herself, how could Rumer feel lovable? It didn't matter what she looked like or what she weighed. She felt like she had to constantly prove herself to get love.
Yeah, I think I always used to feel a bit nervous sometimes, or I had that almost imposter syndrome.
Yes.
And would have moments of going, oh, my
Can I do this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we don't have any scenes together so far, but she's actually living with me in my apartment, which is definitely interesting. I came back from a little vacation and like all of the rugs had moved.
Then there's Tallulah Willis. She also opened up about her mom's choices hurt her. Tallulah shared a tough story about how Demi's attempts to keep things from her only pushed them further apart. The worst part, Tallulah started drinking at just 15 and battled addiction for years, just like her mom, until the family stepped in. She said it made her feel distant from her mom, as if she didn't really know her at all.
This week, Demi Moore is on GMA, and she's telling us about her life like we've never heard it before. Today, she talks to Diane about her marriages to Bruce Willis and Ashton Kutcher, and how the old fears from her turbulent childhood caught her by surprise.
Tallulah eventually moved back in with Demi, started going to therapy, and began working on putting her life back together.
The reality is, which I realized there were so many people I didn't get a chance to thank, and the truth is, everything I do is for them. Mm-hmm. It's for my daughters, for my daughter's daughter, mm-hmm. And I hope in that same way that translates out also for all women. That, that I am just so grateful that I get to be a part of paving a new pathway, mm-hmm. a new way of women, how we can be seen, the things that we can do. Mm-hmm. And I'm not the answer, but I get to be a small piece.
No, ma'am, but you are setting a standard. Yes. You are setting a standard for all of us women of a certain age who look to you and we say, Demi's doing the damn thing right now, doing her best work right now.
So much.
But hold on, that's not all Rumer had to say about her mom. Get ready, because this next part is wild. During an interview with Howard Stern, Rumer dropped another huge bomb about her mom's relationship with Ashton Kutcher. She called out Demi's pattern with younger men, suggesting that Ashton was just another one of those relationships.
Drinking wine again, she started taking shots of tequila. And then when she would get drunk, Ashton would take photos of her throwing up in the toilet, and he would make fun of her. So, which do you want, sir? Later, upon reflection, when people asked her, why did you break your sobriety? She said, I just wanted to be that girl for him. They're married, she's drinking, they find out she's pregnant. But sadly, after 6 months, she has a miscarriage. They were going to name their daughter Chaplain Ray. She's devastated. She thinks it's completely her fault. And then they start many cycles of in vitro. She can't get pregnant. Her 3 daughters are like, hello, can you see us? They think they're losing their mother, so they begin to pull away. Ashton convinced his wife that he wanted threesomes and it would be great. And she agreed. She said, okay, I wanted him to think I was great and fun. She wanted to show her man that she was down, but she regretted them. And she said, because of the threesomes, it drew a blurry line, and that's why he cheated on her. There had been rumors that Ashton had been cheating on her.
Hey, Did you really get shit your whole life?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Because your mom is Demi Moore, I guess, so they expect you to be like Marilyn Monroe or something. Maybe that was it.
I mean, they expect you to come out of the womb just like with perfect everything happening.
So did you feel like shit about yourself your entire life? Like when you were a kid growing up, were you like, oh, damn, I could never be as beautiful as my mother, she's in Ghost, all this stuff? Was that the pressure?
It was just Ghost.
Ghost was the movie. Come on, let's be honest. That was awesome.
The Single Tear is my favorite.
Yes. Did you ever ask how she did that? Probably an onion, right?
I feel like I asked her a while ago.
How old are you when you start seeing your mom's movies and you realize like your mom and dad are famous?
I was pretty young. I mean, but it was cool because I was on set with them.
Right.
So I would travel with them wherever they were. So I just got to see it kind of all happening. But I don't think I realized that they were like movie stars until I got a little bit older and I realized that everyone knew who they were.
And here's the awkward part. Rumer had a massive crush on Ashton when she was younger. Her room was literally covered in his posters. Can you imagine how weird it must have been when her mom started dating him? Talk about having to cross someone off your celebrity crush list. Rumer admitted that she had a lot of posters of Ashton, and she thought he was super hot, one of the top guys on her wall. At first, it was definitely weird, but she quickly warmed up to him. She even said that Ashton turned out to be a really good stepdad, so the whole perspective shifted pretty fast. As for the poster situation, Rumer didn't exactly say when she took it down, but she had to laugh about the awkwardness of it all. After the initial shock, she was actually kind of impressed that her mom was able to land someone like Ashton. Even though Rumer never fully addressed how their relationship affected her, it's clear things got pretty complicated. But here's the twist. Rumer and Ashton actually stayed friends even after he divorced her mom and married Mila Kunis.
You got Ashton Kutcher in love with Mila Kunis on that 70s show. Then they break up for absolutely no reason after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with her daughters.
Ashton Kutcher is no stranger to controversy. It seems like he's always caught up in some kind of drama. One of the most interesting connections, his close friendship with P. Diddy. The two were spotted together at wild parties all the time, and Ashton even co-hosted one of Diddy's famous all-white parties. In a Hot Ones interview, Ashton talked about attending multiple Diddy parties, but he got really evasive when asked to share any juicy details.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you
really?
have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. Diddy party stories, man. That was like some weird memory lane. Ugh.
As you probably guessed, Ashton's ties to P. Diddy are now under serious scrutiny, and it's getting pretty dark. There are allegations about some horrifying things going down at those parties. Things like human exploitation, SA, and other terrible crimes. People are starting to ask hard questions about Ashton's role in all this. How could he have been at these parties so often and not know what was happening? The more people dig into it, the worse it looks for him. Rumors are spreading that he might be the next big celebrity to face legal action because of his connection to Diddy.
I never paid attention to how incredibly toxic Demi Moore's relationship with Ashton Kutcher was. Yes, they were 15 years apart. Yes, he cheated on her. But there was so much more. They met having dinner with some friends, right? Not long after, they were spotted on a double date with Diddy and Kim Porter, which in hindsight is problematic. Yes, there was an age gap. She was 41, he was 26 when they met, but they made light of it. They married in 2005. Everything appeared to be just peachy. They said Ashton got along with her daughters and her ex-husband Bruce Willis, but behind the scenes, there was a lot going on. For example, Demi had been sober for 20 years. He's having a glass of wine in front of her, and he tells her, I don't know if alcoholism is a thing. I think it's all about moderation. And she believed him. She started drinking. Not only did she start drinking wine again, she started taking shots of tequila. And then when she would get drunk, Ashton would take photos.
But it's not just Ashton in the hot seat. Demi Moore, his ex-wife, is facing tough questions too. People are wondering what she knew about those parties while they were married. Was she completely unaware? Or did she turn a blind eye to what was happening?
He made her feel so insecure and so, it's like insane because she's Demi Moore. And she's like coming off of this marriage with Bruce Willis.
Right, yeah.
She's royalty. She was a Rat Pack member. Like she's everything. And then she has this kid who's like not done much, stumbled upon Twitter or whatever. That's like his big claim. And makes her feel like nothing.
There's a moment in the book where she talks about how they were like on vacation together. She had been sober for, I want to say like over 5 years or something. She had a large chunk of sobriety under her belt. And he said to her, I just think like alcoholism doesn't really exist. Like it's just kind of like state of mind thing. And she said in that moment, she was like, I wanted to be the cool girlfriend who could have a drink with her boyfriend and be on vacation. And she like ended up starting to drink again on that trip. He clearly just had no clue about alcoholism at all. And he also cheated on her.
And then when he got her to start drinking again, he was like, you're annoying when you drink.
No.
He made her relapse and then said, it's annoying when you're drunk.
The drama keeps getting worse. A resurfaced video is making people look at Ashton in a new light. In the clip, a young DeVay Chase is talking to Ashton after she wins an MTV Music Award. Diddy suddenly steps in, congratulates DeVay, and shockingly invites her to one of his infamous after parties. DeVay agrees, and Diddy seemed thrilled.
Hey! Oh my gosh, this still rocks!
So good, you're doing so good.
I just want to say, everyone will suffer. Do you remember worrying?
I got scared, chickened out. So thank you for this award. It means a lot to me.
What makes this even more disturbing is how young DeVay was at the time. She was 13. Who invites a kid to a party where some seriously bad things could be happening? Even worse, Ashton just stood there smiling, not saying a word. That's a huge red flag. Now, there's no proof that DeVay actually went to that party, but the fact that she kind of disappeared from the spotlight shortly after makes people suspicious. Ashton might want to rethink some of his friendships because he's in some deep trouble right now. And if you thought that was intense, it gets worse. Demi Moore's own tragic childhood has come back into the spotlight. She's been open about her struggles growing up, especially her complicated relationship with her mom. But the most heartbreaking thing she shared was that she was SA'd by her own mother, who exploited her when she was only 15 years old.
You said your childhood
was done. Yeah, life-changing moment.
Before Moore was born, her father left her pregnant mother, who was 18 years old at the time. Shortly after Moore was born, her mother remarried, but the couple had a turbulent relationship and divorced twice. Her stepfather later took his own life. Moore suffered from various medical ailments, including kidney problems and a vision disorder called strabismus. As a teen, she was a Moore's mother battled substance use issues, and Moore once had to revive her after an overdose. She eventually broke off contact with her mother after she walked out early from rehab.
This situation is a total betrayal that left so many people shocked. And now, it's not just their personal lives getting the spotlight. Demi and Ashton's charity work is also under a lot of scrutiny. Back in 2009, they co-founded an organization called Thorn to fight human exploitation and SA, especially among young people. They said they were inspired after watching a documentary about youth exploitation.
And not because I thought it was like so risque or shocking. And I just was so fascinated with why is it being seen as like obscene?
I was a 40-year-old who had a big life, and Ashton's adult life was just beginning. I didn't see all that because I was inside of it. I just felt like a 15-year-old girl hoping somebody liked me.
That's all true. I think that I had been responsible for so much of my life. And all of a sudden this window opened up where I was safe, I had money, he loved my children. It wasn't something he feared. He seemed to be comfortable with the enormity of the ex-husband. I mean, you know, I felt like I was not coming with baggage, I had trunks.
But with all the allegations surrounding Diddy now coming to light, people are starting to question whether Thorn is really what it claims to be. Considering Ashton's connection to him, the public is upset, and honestly, who can blame them? Even though Demi and Ashton likely had good intentions, their charity work is now being overshadowed by their ties to Diddy. The pressure got so intense that Ashton eventually stepped down as board chair of Thorn. And let's not forget the whole Danny Masterson mess. Ashton and Mila wrote letters defending him against SA allegations, which turned out to be a huge mistake. They later apologized, saying they never meant to hurt the victims, but the damage was already done.
Ashton Kutcher was once loved by the public, but he's had a lot of scandals last year, and now he's being absolutely destroyed over P. Diddy. There's been some backlash to Ashton Kutcher due to his on-screen romance with Mila Kunis when she was 14 years old and he was 19 when they were doing That 70s Show together. That's because Ashton Kutcher revealed during his first kiss with Mila Kunis he used his tongue without her permission because Danny Masterson bet him $20 he wouldn't. Then in the early 2000s, when marketing the movie Cheaper by the Dozen, he made a joke about his 15-year-old co-star saying she was in the club of people America can't wait to turn 18. He also joked at the same time the Olsen twins were also on that list because they had 6 countdown clocks for their 18th birthday. Now Ashton Kutcher is getting a new criticism over his friendship with P. Diddy, which began 20 years ago when P. Diddy appeared on his show Punk'd on MTV. Now because of the P. Diddy arrest, there's been a resurface interview with Ashton Kutcher on the show Hot Ones where he said P. Diddy's one of his best friends and he loved partying with him but couldn't say the details of the party for legal reasons. This is the same P. Diddy who's known for having parties with underage girls that he gave drugs to and was also known for Ashton Kutcher was aware of the allegations and still called him one of his best friends. So solid friend list, and with that I'm sure I'll subscribe to learn something.
Now, even some of Ashton's former co-stars are feeling the heat for supporting him. They publicly acknowledge the pain caused by those character letters. It's a messy situation. Ashton reportedly wanted Masterson to be found innocent, but at the same time, he didn't want him to avoid facing accountability. Ashton said he truly felt for anyone who's ever felt violated.
A freak? I would say he's definitely a freak.
I heard some wild stories. I heard he had
We all heard that.
Yeah, you know
but then, come on, I want to hear what you heard.
I mean, I heard that he had this dude Ashton Kutcher bent over.
Now I'm gonna tell you the truth. Him and Ashton Kutcher was really tight. We used to go to his crib. He had a penthouse on 74th and 8th Avenue on Central Park West.
Through all the drama, Demi hasn't held back about what her marriage to Ashton was like. She confessed that she was totally obsessed with him, so much so that it felt like an addiction. She was willing to do anything for him, but it ended up costing her dearly. Demi admitted that her devotion made things harder, and that it was natural for someone to pull away when someone else is clinging too tightly. Demi opened up about how hard it was to keep up with her younger husband, Ashton's party lifestyle. She even broke her own sobriety rules and started drinking again just to fit into his world. But the most shocking part? Ashton supposedly asked for threesomes, something Demi agreed to at the time but later deeply regretted. She admitted that she did it because she wanted to please him and be what she thought he wanted.
So shocked, unnerved, unsettled by a woman who is 15 years older.
Gosh, I don't know. It's so silly. I think part of it is we've been conditioned societally to look at the value of a woman being tied to her fertility. Like, what would an older woman have to offer?
And then 2 years into her new relationship, at 42, you were pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
6 months, you go in for a checkup.
At almost 6 months.
And you said you will never forget the look on the doctor's face.
You could see a combination of his dread and it shifting then immediately into matter-of-fact, practical information.
While Ashton was out living his best party life, Demi struggled to keep up. Then came the cheating rumors, multiple times. Honestly, it was no surprise when they finally divorced in 2011. Everyone saw that one coming. Demi remembered asking him, "Are you serious?" when he admitted to it. In her book, Inside Out, Demi laid everything out there. It was her way of trying to heal from all the chaos. But the really sad part is how much her daughters ended up suffering because of her choices, just like she did because of her mom's decisions. It's like this painful cycle that keeps going on. Demi reflected that while sharing her story was important, it didn't always show the full context of the pain her daughters went through. To be honest about her own experience, she had to open up about everything, but that didn't mean it was easy for her family. But on top of all the rumors and drama, Demi recently found herself in another Hollywood situation. At the 2025 Golden Globes, there was a moment that got people talking. A video went viral showing Demi apparently ignoring Kylie Jenner, which had social media buzzing with criticism.
So, what really happened between Demi Moore and Kylie Jenner at the Golden Globes? Tallulah Willis, the daughter of Demi and Bruce, shut down the rumors her mum had snubbed Kylie after this clip went viral. Tallulah nipped it in the bud and said her mum simply hadn't seen her and claimed there was no snub of any sort. Another insider confirmed to DailyMail.com that there was no ill will between the two or any malicious intent by Demi. They said she simply didn't even acknowledge her presence as she doesn't know Kylie. Last Halloween, Kylie impersonated Demi, recreating her iconic striptease poster. Demi also seemed to be a fan of Kylie's costume and even reshared her looks on her story.
In the clip, Demi, who had just won her first Golden Globe for Substance, was heading over to Elle Fanning's table. Kylie, who was sitting next to Elle, congratulated Demi, but Demi quickly turned back to Elle without engaging much with Kylie. The 62-year-old actress thanked Kylie, but it seemed like the whole thing was awkward. Kylie watched them chat for a moment, but when Demi moved on to talk to her boyfriend, Timothée Chalamet, Kylie looked away, just like Demi did when she was talking to him. The internet exploded with comments. One person wrote, "That was so messed up." And another joked, "LMFAO, Demi gave her 5 fingers to the face." But not everyone agreed. Some fans defended Demi, saying it wasn't a big deal and that she was just talking to the actors at her table, and she did acknowledge Kylie. Meanwhile, Demi had liked and reposted Kylie's Halloween post in October 2024, where Kylie channeled Demi's character from Striptease. So it seems like there was no real beef between them. But to shut down all the rumors, Demi's daughter, Tallulah Willis, took to Instagram to set the record straight. She explained that there was no snubbing going on when Demi went to hug Elle after her big win. Tallulah shared that they'd spent New Year's with Elle, so it made sense for Demi to connect with her first. She also added that Demi was overwhelmed with excitement and just moving around the room, talking to people. Had Demi seen Kylie, she would have made sure to take time to talk to her. Tallulah ended up by saying, "Just give it all a break and let the gal enjoy her accomplishment." So it looks like the whole snub story is just another baseless rumor. Demi Moore recently won her first major acting award for her role as Elizabeth Sparkle in The Substance, a stylish body horror film about a former star who turns to a black market substance to keep her youth. In her speech, she was visibly shocked and shared a powerful message about knowing your worth. "I've been in this business for over 45 years, and this is the first time I've ever won something as an actor." She reflected on how a producer once called her a popcorn actress, and how that comment stuck with her for years. At the time, she believed that she could make big, successful movies, but she'd never be recognized for her talent. It ate away at her confidence. "A few years ago, I thought maybe that was it. Maybe I was done, like I had done all I was meant to do," she confessed. But things changed when she hit a low point and received the script for The Substance, which she described as magical and absolutely bonkers. That's when she realized, "The universe told me you're not done." Demi wrapped up her speech with a touching message. "In those moments when we don't feel like we're enough, whether it's not being smart enough, pretty enough, or successful enough, I had a woman tell me, you'll never be enough, but you can know the value of your worth if you put down the measuring stick." She ended by saying, "Today I celebrate this as a marker of my wholeness and the love that's driving me. Thank you for reminding me that I belong. It was truly an empowering moment." After Demi's big win, her daughters, Rumer, Scout, and Tallulah, shared an adorable video on Instagram, showing their excitement when their mom's name was called. The three sisters, who are all daughters of Demi and her ex-husband, Bruce Willis, couldn't contain their joy as they jumped up and down celebrating the moment. Now here's where things get interesting. What do you think about all the drama surrounding Demi? Do you think she knew about what was happening at those Diddy parties? Was she in the loop about the disturbing things that allegedly went down at those events Ashton and Diddy were involved in? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And that's all for today. If you want to stay up to date on the latest hot topics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell for more videos like this.